Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Coe Show. My name is Mason Coe, here as always with my co-host Aaron Coe.
What's up?
Today is April 20th, Tuesday. In this fine 2021, baseball season's fully underway at the moment. Steph Curry is having maybe the best run of anyone ever. But before we talk about that, make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, comment, like all the YouTube stuff, and then follow us on Twitter at Mason Charles Coe and Aaron Coe 29.
Do it.
And yeah, let's just jump into the stuff. We need to talk about Steph Curry instantly. So he's had 72 threes over his last 10 games, and he's the first player since Wilt to average 40 points per game on 50% field goals through 10 games in a month.
I'll admit I thought he might start sliding a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, had some injuries.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes the little guards kind of die off quickly. He's not. I don't know how old he is exactly. He's not
31.
Yeah,
I
he's
think.
31. Little guards are kind of like running backs when they hit.
Yeah, I mean Chris Paul. You know, you got Chris Paul, Tony Parker. You got some guys.
There's some guys, but I mean, there's not that many.
The thing is about Steph is he's not a little guard. He's a little guard, but for one thing, he is 6'3". He's not like
he's not tiny.
Super. I mean, he's a small guy, but
Yeah.
his game doesn't just rely on quickness.
Yeah.
So
True.
that's really the difference. He has incredible handles to go along with the quickness, and obviously the best shooter of all time, hands down. But here's a stat that I wanted to tell you, and I almost told you it yesterday, but I wanted to tell you live on the podcast. I hope you haven't heard it. So Steph Curry last night just recorded his 21st game with 10 plus 3-pointers. The second most to ever do that is 5, Klay Thompson.
Wow.
And also, Steph has done it 4 out of the last 5 games.
It's crazy.
So the second most 10 plus 3-point games belongs to Klay Thompson with 5, and he has 4 out of the last 5.
Yeah,
that.
That's just absurd.
It's ridiculous.
I don't know.
And maybe Klay's the second, third, fourth best shooter of all time. Keep that in mind. So you know.
Yeah, it's unbelievable just to watch him. Again, I don't watch a lot of NBA because who gives a fuck? Because they took my Sonics and they're coming back yet. But that being said, when I have watched, I mean, it's just like it looks like video game shit that isn't real. He can throw anything up, and if it doesn't go in, it's close to going in. I mean, you got to guard him from the other 3-point line.
Yeah.
Take a shot from there. Yeah, it's absurd. There's never been anybody like him, I don't think. I mean, I think a guy like Pete Maravich was kind of in the old times was kind of on that level. Where he just took crazy shots and they went in, but
a crazy shot back then was like a 15-footer because they didn't have.
No, he took shots. He took 3-point shots even though there wasn't a 3-point.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like the different, like a 15-footer was like a risky shot. So like I mean, I guess funnily enough, it's now again viewed as a risky shot because the mid-range game is completely dead. But but yeah, just I guess what's the word I'm looking for? Like the level required of craziness. Was much less back then.
Yeah, it's a total. I mean, it's just
he probably,
such a different game.
You know, he's one of those guys where, had he even considered practicing 30-footers, he probably could have got there.
Well, yeah, the only benefit then was he could do it and he was open. You know? There wasn't a 3-point line, so or at least I think for most of his career, maybe all of his career, I can't remember, but check out some highlights of him. He's
ridiculous.
He's the one old time guy that you watch and you're like, wow, like like he would crush it today. But yeah, no, you're right.
It took too was his dad making him sleep in the garage when he played bad and stuff.
Yeah, that's what you got to do with kids if you want them to play
just
well.
Just beat the shit out of them a little or leave them and they'll become a professional athlete.
Yeah. That's how you do it. I tried. Unfortunately, you got my genes, so you're not playing in the pros, at least not yet.
Not yet. No, I'm still holding that hope. I'm still young, man.
I think I'm past my prime. I think my shot is over.
Yeah. All right. Dwayne Wade has purchased an ownership stake in the Utah Jazz. He's joining the current governor and he's gonna, I guess, have an active role in the franchise and region. I don't know what "and region" means. Is he moving to Utah? I don't know, but
Maybe.
one, it wasn't a secret.
So the dude is moving from Miami to fucking Utah.
He's a family man,
Come on,
He's
man.
a family man. I don't know. I don't know what that means particularly. And also, when you're Dwayne Wade, you can kind of just go like a couple weeks in Utah and a week in Miami, and kind of fly back and forth however much you want.
Did somebody show up on a bicycle and talk to him?
Oh my God. Well, the thing that makes this surprising. So it's been no secret that he's wanted to own part of an NBA team. He made it clear that he would be interested in owning part of the Sonics too. I think a year or two ago, which would have been really cool. But what's interesting about the Jazz thing is one of the executives for the Heat pretty much came out and said they offered him this right when he retired, and he didn't take it. And so I think the quote, he was saying it in a way like he wasn't ready to take that step yet.
Okay.
But people were like, why wouldn't people are like, why'd he wait and then go to Utah and not hop in with Miami or going with KG or wait and going with KG somewhere else?
The partial ownership thing is a weird deal. So there are partial owners of NBA any pro franchise, and you've never heard their name.
Yeah.
They don't really have an active. Maybe they're on a board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like
and people pretend to listen to them.
500,000 Green Bay Packers fans.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah. And then, there are partial owners like, I'll just throw Michael Jordan out there. He has a very active role, and some say that might not be the best idea, although he's found a couple guys lately. But maybe it was just he feels like he'll have more of a voice in Utah, or just hit it off with the other owners.
I mean,
better.
how would he really not have that much of a voice in Miami? I find it hard to believe that, but
yeah, I don't know.
I mean, when it says taking an active role in the franchise, that's really the part that is the reason I wanted to talk about this, because like what you just brought up, you see guys like Michael Jordan, it doesn't really work out. You see guys. I'm struggling to think of an example of a guy that has worked out.
Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
That they're like, he's like, oh, you guys need me to show up more than once a week.
Yeah.
And that's not a slight on Magic. That he told them going in, like, I have like 95 businesses. I want to help, but I can't be a major player. So there's just a lot of different ways to do it. I mean, are you Jerry West, or
that's
are you?
That's what I was trying to think of. Jerry West, like. Because Jerry West is potentially the GOAT NBA person, just from from playing to coaching to executivizing. He's he's absolutely reached the pinnacle at every single step of the way.
Like, how many guys in any sport, any sports that we pay attention to, don't talk to me about soccer or whatever the fuck.
Actually, we will get into some soccer a little bit later.
Okay, nod off a little bit. But Bundesliga, are we going to talk about that? I have no idea how I just pulled that out of my ass.
That's congrats, and we kind of will in a way. Everyone but you knows what I'm talking about.
Don't even know what that is.
Yeah,
I do some Super League that just fell apart like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, so it did?
Pretty much.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that completely changes how I was going to talk about this. Okay.
It's still an interesting topic and why it happened.
Yeah,
we'll get into that. So what the hell was I talking about before?
Are you Jerry West? Are you?
How many guys in the last 30, 40 years have been a Hall of Fame level player and a Hall of Fame level either coach or GM? Mm-hmm. It's Jerry West.
That's it.
That's the list.
Yeah.
That's the only list.
Yeah,
Mike,
I mean,
Mike Ditka, but that was like in the 80s.
And you're saying coach and GM?
No, a player.
A player
who became either a Hall of Fame coach or GM.
Steve Kerr.
He's not that level of a player though.
Oh, so you're saying Hall of Fame level player and Hall of
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it doesn't happen. Yeah. It doesn't happen.
So Bill Belichick, I don't even know if he played in the NFL, but probably not in the Hall of Fame as a player.
Yeah.
So like how many are that level at both, Larry Bird was a pretty good coach, but he didn't do it for very long. Mm-hmm. 'Cause it's like why would you work that hard if you're already a multimillionaire?
Yeah.
Why, like
Phil Jackson was a pretty solid player.
Yeah, but he played in the 70s.
Yeah.
So and I don't know if he's in the NBA Hall of Fame or not. So he's a higher level player though. Like he was a starter.
Mm-hmm.
But it's rarer and rarer. It happened a little bit more often back, I mean, we're talking
Bill Russell.
Yeah, but again,
But he wasn't super great.
I said last 30 years, so
yeah.
Bill Russell was Casey Jones was actually probably a better coach than Bill Russell. But there just aren't many. There aren't.
Yeah,
many.
no, it doesn't happen. So it'll be interesting to see what he does, where he decides to go with it. But yeah, who knows?
Yeah. And the funny thing is, I don't really care, and it's not just because it's the NBA, but like if he's drafting players and having like an actual role, that'll be interesting. But I don't know, like he might just be a guy that this might be all a big PR thing that we just bought into. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. All right. So LaMarcus Aldridge is retiring. He had an irregular heartbeat, so it's one of those things where it's scary, but it's good that they caught it early.
So they just figured it. So he signed with Brooklyn.
Yeah,
like
played a
about,
game,
a week
and
ago?
then
they found it after that.
And then he
Wow.
retired. Yeah, he was on a vet min, so it's not like he, I think it was a pretty easy decision.
Trying to grab a ring.
Yeah, so great career, and he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, he averaged 20 and 10 for like a decade.
Probably.
For a decade.
Yeah, he probably does.
And when you think about his time in Portland and in San Antonio, you think of two franchises like San Antonio was just coming out of trying to win a bunch of championships.
Right.
Like and Portland, like they thought they were there, and then Brandon Roy, obviously, all that stuff.
His timing has not been great.
The timing's just been terrible. The timing's been, and then
finally gets it right.
Finally gets it. Yeah.
The guy could have died.
Could have died. Yeah. So
I guess that was good timing to get out before you die.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So Hall of Fame career, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so. I don't have as good a handle on the NBA Hall of Fame. I think is it the easiest Hall of Fame to get into? Baseball's the hardest. Football's way easier than baseball. I don't know.
I think there's more. I think there's more kind of questionable football ones.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because. Although the thing is, I think stats in football have become so like the scales have tipped so crazily in stats with football. So I think it's a little different. But
and you're gonna see that with basketball too.
Yeah, and it's gonna happen. But
like which guard that averaged 20 points for 10 years isn't gonna get in?
John Stockton and Steve Nash are gonna. People are gonna be like, why were they good? Like my kids, like why, who?
They average like 16 points a game.
Yeah,
what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah. But anyway, all right.
But look at quarterbacks. We've talked about this before.
Yeah,
Hall of Fame quarterbacks from the 70s, and they all threw more picks.
It's a joke.
Touchdowns,
it's a joke.
But they were really good.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Speaking of football, Mike Tomlin, 3-year contract extension. Not much to say about it. Deserved.
Fuck the Steelers. Yeah.
Fuck the Steelers. It's deserved. Great coach.
No question.
Hall of Fame coach. All right. This is interesting, and it's good news, but it's also one of those things where it's like, kind of fuck you for not doing this sooner. The NFL announced what it is calling the first U.S. sportsbook partnerships with Caesars Entertainment, DraftKings, and FanDuel. Those companies are now the NFL's official sports betting partners. I think this hopefully will push states to move a little quicker and maybe like federally make sports gambling move a little bit quicker now that like tax money is like so much tax money is at stake here.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that it moves quicker. It already is. Like the dominoes are falling with it.
Arizona, a couple things going on in Washington here.
Yeah, we've seen it. We've seen it.
Tribes.
You see it in like with a bunch of different things, like the dominoes start to fall with states legalizing things. But so it'll be interesting to see. I heard apparently they might do the TV feature that I don't know if I mentioned on this, but you could bet from your TV. I think maybe it might just be one specific network that's doing that, but
we're gonna get there pretty fast. But it's interesting, I think, people sometimes wonder, why have these sporting? I'm gonna sneeze in a second. Just to warn you. Why are teams so? God damn it!
Push the mic away.
It's just sitting there,
Um,
ready to go. Why have leagues been so resistant to gambling, to partnering? And it's because 40 years ago, a guy named Vinny, he offered
the mob,
he offered you a little something to throw at a game, maybe 10 G's or something like that. But now, 10 G's is nothing.
Yeah.
Those
and
guys
maybe
spend that on fucking
maybe
tequila
something
after
happens
the
to your
game.
fucking mother if you don't.
Yeah. So now it's like, why would you, like, Vinny don't have $3 million most of the time to throw the game. So these guys make too much money. Like,
It's
even
too
a
much
guy on a
money.
minimum deal is
Yeah,
making
even
$1 million.
even the refs make too much money now. I think Tim Donaghy, that's part of the. He says stuff like that is still rampant. Like there's still, it still kind of goes on. But I think there's too much money just flying around in the leagues to really have that be a concern. We got teams in Vegas now, so it's. I mean that's really the big teller. It's like if you're moving a team to Vegas, that instantly tells everyone, come here. Watch the game, gamble, like that's what it is.
Yeah.
So
I like it. We like to bet a little bit, pretend bet or something. Mm-hmm. But I think that the other concern with politicians has always been there. Gambling can be an addiction for people, and I think there's some fear that playing into that is could create some issues for people, and it can really I've seen it happen to someone before, and it can ruin. I mean, you can financially ruin yourself real quick by getting addicted to it.
Sorry. United vice chairman just resigned because the Super League shit was such a mess.
Wow.
People are resigning. Anyway, sorry. This is just crazy.
Wow.
It's about time for the betting shit.
Yeah.
It's about time. So
it's just like anything else. I mean, people are alcoholics, but you can go buy beer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So this is, I don't want to, it's one of these things where it's like, anyway, Alden Smith is wanted for second-degree battery. I don't even know what second-degree battery means, but, that means not planned, right?
Yeah, usually just means you got in a scuffle and you hit the guy harder than he hit you.
April 17th, yeah. So it's like, who knows what assault really means or battery really means in this situation. If it's, like second-degree battery could mean he beat the shit out of a woman. Second-degree battery could also mean some dude came up to him and sucker punched him and he rocked his shit. And
sounds like it happened in a coffee shop.
And maybe
a coffee shop.
That's really odd.
Guy really needed some fucking caffeine and he didn't get it fast enough.
He just caught him before his morning Joe, man. But
I felt that way.
Did you see the Aaron Donald stuff?
Oh my god.
How he we didn't talk I forgot to put this on here. We can talk about it now though.
We can talk about that a little bit later.
Okay, yeah.
On the show.
Yeah, we can talk about that a little later.
But point being, you got to let these things play out.
That's why I almost don't like talking about this kind of stuff right when it happens, just because. But it's like, I don't know. You kind of have to talk about it right when it happens.
Yeah. But here's the difference. So with Aaron Donald, I was like, that doesn't sound right. He seems like a pretty level dude.
He's calm.
Now, I've been disappointed by athletes many times.
Oh, yeah.
Like guys that you think are rock solid and they do something really bad. But Alden Smith, it's like, okay.
This one,
He's done so many things that
I can't even really be hopeful about this one.
Yeah. And I had hoped when they signed him that, he has a lot of things on his sheet, but I had hoped, it was alcohol and drug related. Yeah. And maybe, there hasn't been anything for at least 3 years.
I was hoping it was more personal struggle shit than
So, but it's hard. Maybe he's totally innocent. But if you're guilty till proven innocent when you have his sheet.
Unfortunately, if you're beating the shit out of people in coffee shops, it's like, Again, who knows the situation? Someone could have said some super foul shit to him, and at that point, it's like, there are certain things that you can say where, to me, I see that as a green light to get your shit rocked. So maybe that, but then again, when you're an NFL player, you can't go around doing that, especially when you have a rap sheet. So it's one of those things where it's such a tough situation, especially when we have no idea what actually happened.
No, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe I'll end up on his side. It's hard to see.
Yeah, I mean, for a second I thought Aaron Donald almost killed someone, and you know, and he broke up the fight. He saved his life. So.
Yeah. Do you want to get into the when do people deserve a second chance?
We can, if you want.
Just very briefly.
Yeah.
Did you want the Seahawks to sign Alden Smith?
Well, I still don't even really know what he actually did. For a second,
so he did this 2 days after the Seahawks signed him. So when the Seahawks decided to sign him,
I know.
It was based on
I know.
his deeper history.
I didn't. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I still didn't really know. Like, I didn't really fully know. For some reason, I had some recollection that he hit a woman. That was a different 49ers linebacker.
There was a domestic violence incident.
Okay.
With his fiance. So yes.
Wait, what? Was there a different 49ers?
Yeah. Yes.
That was worse though, right?
It was worse.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one was really, really bad.
Yeah.
When it comes to domestic violence, that I don't really have much room for forgiveness, but again, it's one of the, it's so contextual and you'll never find all the context with it, but when it's stuff like drugs and alcohol, if it's drug and alcohol charges, I 100% I want to give guys chances.
Right.
I don't want the Seahawks to try again with Josh Gordon just because it's annoying, but
yeah,
I wouldn't be mad if he got another chance. I
wouldn't either. We've been burned twice.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. And it's not wrong for us to think that either, but it's when it comes to substance things, I'm a very what's the word? Sympathetic. I'm sympathetic to that. Yeah. So it's I think give him a chance if it's that, but if he's just beating the shit out of people, then it's no.
I was open to the Seahawks signing him because I thought, well, if he's put the drug and alcohol stuff behind him and maybe he's gotten some help, sounds like he's been a good boy for 3 years, and I would rather someone overcome whatever demons they have and succeed than just punish them.
Yeah.
But yeah, but this is why people don't get second chances.
What's really weird,
they blow it, and it makes us hesitant to give somebody a chance again.
Yeah. What's really weird too is because it's hard because you can't compare this to just any other job, but you think if someone commits a crime, they shouldn't be able to just not make money
right
at their profession for the rest. That's kind of just a weird, fucked up punishment.
Yeah.
But when you're in the NFL, you sign the contract, and that's part of the job is to represent the team and protect the shield, is the saying or whatever.
Yeah. Well, they really started cracking down on a lot of these things in the 90s because it seemed like every week you were hearing about some player beating the shit out of a woman.
Yeah.
And it was just there was a real this is not a word you're supposed to use, but there was a thug feeling.
Yeah.
With the NFL.
Yeah.
That was the word being thrown around. And the NFL is we got to clean this up because we can't have this image that we're a bunch of outlaws running around. Even though it wasn't half of every team.
Yeah.
But it was it seemed like I said, it seemed like you couldn't go a week without hearing something.
Some other dude. Yeah.
So yeah, they're basically we're gonna take this away from you. If you can't.
And keep
it in check.
At the end of the day, if that means how many guys are in the NFL? What
well, there's about 50 per team. There's 32 teams. So
1,500.
1,600.
We'll just say
cats,
1,500 just for the sake of it. If that means so there's 1,500 NFL guys. If that means 200 or 300 less women get beat a decade, then sure, then that's a net positive. And at the end of the day, yeah. So
and I also feel because it's such an exclusive job, the NFL has a right to make some rules that people don't agree with. So if I like to drink beer. If someone said to me, we're going to pay you, we're going to sign you to a multi-million-dollar contract. Only thing is, you can't drink beer anymore. Guess what? Not going to drink beer anymore.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
So, that's so I to me, the NFL has a right to make some of these rules that are outside the scope of football.
And it's not just because of the money. It's because you're on TV, and there's something that comes with being on TV that I think a lot of people don't like consider that. Where and it goes like, I don't know, it's weird because there's some people that say, oh, you can't just take away a guy's livelihood because he did something. But like I just said, it's part of the job.
Yeah.
And then there's other people too on that go completely the other side with it. I don't know.
There are a lot of people that didn't want the Seahawks to sign Alden Smith. And are saying, "I told you so" right now,
and that's, I mean,
that's okay.
It's
I
fair.
don't have a problem with that.
It's fair, yeah.
I don't.
They did tell us so. Like they did.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna like if someone says I don't ever want my team to sign someone that has beaten a woman.
I'm not gonna argue that.
I might say I'm willing to give the guy a chance, or
again,
if he can help the team.
Case
but I'm
to
not
case. Every
case to case.
Case to case.
Yeah.
For the love of God, it's like. People like we're not trying to generalize this shit. It's so case to case, which is why, like I said, the other what the fuck is his name? The other 49 was number 50, Patrick.
I don't remember.
I don't know. Who even cares? Let's not even say his name.
Yeah.
That guy, fuck no, should have never got a second chance. And OJ shouldn't have got a second chance.
Yeah. And then to me, like that second chance needs to come with. Have you demonstrated that you've become a better person?
Yeah, it's not just...
That's the main thing.
And even with the NFL, you could argue not only do you have to not do bad shit for X amount of time, but you have to, like, show that you care about whatever you did. Like, like talk to, give speeches, donate, just donate.
Have you gotten mental help? Have you, are you... Did you need meds and
here's
taking
the thing.
them now?
Here's the
Did
thing.
you quit drinking or whatever you were doing?
And here's the thing. Sometimes you just gotta lie about that if you want to make it back to the NFL.
Yeah.
Which I don't want people to do.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Moving forward.
Yeah.
Bills games. Full attendance for New York, which seems surprising, but. Mm-hmm. New York has the Excelsior vaccine passport thing. So yeah, you get your vaccine pass and you can show up to a Bills game, and Bills Mafia is going to show out, so I feel like they're going to sell out. I don't think they'll have a problem with it.
Yeah, it's funny, I haven't heard, but I probably ignore all this stuff, but I haven't heard people freaking out about that because there are people out there that are like, it's my goddamn right whether I want the vaccine or not. But
having like a vaccine passport does seem a little dystopian, but it makes sense for this specific instance. It makes sense.
There may come a time where we don't need to worry about that, but I don't get into politics. But I'm not getting into it now because vaccines are not fucking political.
Yeah, no, it's science, bro.
So I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's
I'm just
science,
don't bring the political crap into it.
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't have a conversation with someone who doesn't want to get the vaccine. I just can't.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, you're stupid.
Yeah.
That's all I got. I got nothing else.
Oh,
and I know you have nothing to come back with. Like what do you like? What are your sources to say it anyway? So I like it. I think they should all do it. Yeah. I don't know if you're the Mariners kind of came out and said, they got asked that on KJR, and they're like, no, we're not going to do that right now. And I'm like, yeah, because if it keeps 10 people from coming to your game, that's 10 less
people.
Fans.
That's 10 less people coming to your game. It's not.
Yeah. Where the Bills, I think you're right. Like they'll probably still fill the seats. So.
I have a question. Mm-hmm. So obviously their season's gonna start early September, right? So that's when. Do you think it would actually be worth it. So if you had to choose, if you're the Mariners, you choose between, and pretend the baseball season starts in the fall at the same time.
Yeah.
If you had to choose between 9,000 capacity with no vaccine requirement or full capacity but vaccine requirement, do you have faith that by the fall we have enough vaccines out there to get 9,000 people to every game? I do.
Yeah,
I think that's more. I think it's more.
Sounds like we're getting there.
This, I mean, what we've been handing out this vaccine for like a month now, like only like a month and a half or so.
Yeah.
And this is, I mean, it's not until September, so we got 5 months here.
I would say like I wouldn't require it today because not everybody,
Yeah.
people who want it can't get it yet, as you know.
Yeah.
I just got my first shot about a week ago or so.
I got mine tomorrow, actually.
You got yours tomorrow?
Yeah,
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So to me, I wouldn't have a vaccine requirement until you get to a point where you're like, hey, is anybody else want the needle?
Yeah.
No? We're good. Okay. Now it's fucking required.
Yeah.
So the minute there's crickets when you ask if anybody wants the next shot, that's when you require it. But you can't. I wouldn't lock people out now.
Not when like the vaccine appointments are like rare shoe drops.
Oh my gosh.
Where you have to like set up a bot like the sneakers app and hope you win the raffle.
Yeah.
And then you resell it like
seriously.
Resell your
oh my God.
resell your vaccine on
That's
StockX.
what I should have been doing.
You should be reselling vaccine appointments on StockX. Oh my God.
Do you think people have done that? Did we just give away?
We
could be rich over the next month here.
StockX vaccine appointments. That's so
God.
fucking funny. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Damn it. Delete this podcast.
Yeah.
And start doing that now. You'll be rich in a month.
Oh my goodness. All right. All right.
So good job, Bills. I don't know how many teams are going to do that.
Yeah, because
they want their cash.
They can afford that though, because like I said, Bills fans will show up.
Yeah.
All right. Jadeveon Clowney, 1 year, $10 million to the Browns. This is interesting. I mean, when you have a guy like Clowney with an already stacked defensive line, that's when I start thinking, oh shit.
Yeah.
This is dangerous for other teams.
He's a good football player. He's not really a pass rusher. I mean,
no, he just clogs. He clogs and stops the run, which is fine.
Yeah, he's a good player. I think he's been like, if he hadn't had that play where he knocked the guy's head off in college.
That's a question I heard on a podcast. How much more? What percentage of his career earnings have come from that one hit?
A lot.
Like 50%.
Yeah. Really,
like 50%.
Probably. But he's got, he's got an inconsistent drive, I think.
Yeah.
He's a good player. I'd like to have him on the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's not going to get you 15 sacks. You know how I know that? Because he's never even had 10.
Never done it. Yeah. Never even
but he's
close.
he's a good player.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the Super League real quick. I won't talk too much about it because it's done now. So it was quick. So Americans got our hands into soccer for a minute there.
There we go. We tried to fuck it up.
We did it, yeah. All the teams that were involved either were owned by Americans, had American executives, had Americans on the board.
Yeah.
Every team that did it had Americans involved. The the Bundesliga teams declined to join. Same with Paris Saint-Germain, who, if you remember the last World Cup, French kid Mbappe. Do you remember him? Mbappe.
Barely.
He won, like, when they won the World Cup, he won whatever the MVP of the World Cup is.
Okay.
And so if you think about it, if Mbappe were first of all, let me check if he still plays for that team. He originally played for Paris Saint-Germain, which it's so funny. I don't even know it. Yeah, okay, he does still play for him. So he plays for Paris Saint-Germain, which is not joining this Super League. So what he would have to do if this Super League were to be a thing is choose, do I play against the best competition and make so much, like a ridiculous amount of more money? A absurd amount of money, or do I stay on this team and still be able to play with my country?
Yeah.
Because that's what it came down to. You either choose the Super League or your country.
Yeah.
Or you couldn't play in any cup. There's like 15 fucking cups for these soccer teams.
Oh my God.
Couldn't play in any of them except for the Super League one. But apparently the winnings from the Super League were going to be every cup combined like times 2.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the thing about soccer that, and I'm way out of my league here on this, but like they're having a season and then they fucking stop the season and play in some cup thing in the middle of the season, but then sometimes not all the good players play in the whatever the fuck cup they're trying to win, and then they come back and play their real season
the FA
again.
Cup.
I don't know what the hell's going on. This one's it sounded like it sounds like like if you were gonna have the MLB like get the Yankees and the Dodgers and a couple other
the
teams,
Astros, just the highest paying teams,
and just play games that the other teams weren't invited for or something like that. It sounded like a weird deal.
So
but they do weird shit anyway.
Do you know what the champion? So do you know the Champions League setup?
Not really.
So, okay, if you're the worst team in the Champions League,
get kicked out.
You get kicked out. Best team in the Premier League, you move up, which that cuts off. No team could enter or leave the Super League, which already fucks everything. Like that the whole system is completely
right. So this is just strictly the big money teams.
Yeah, so they're just completely screwing over what they call grassroots football. Grassroots football is it's a disgrace. It's despicable that they would do this to grassroots football. Those wankers. But they completely screw grassroots football, soccer with this, and basically no teams could come in and out, and all the other teams would not be able to find any good players.
So if baseball had a Super League, no Mariners.
No Mariners, yeah. And I was thinking, because, the reason that I was originally a little back and forth on this, and I just took soccer fans' words for it because they know what's good for the sport and I don't. The reason I was a little back and forth was like, wait, don't college football fans want the Power 5 conferences to break off and form a super conference? Like, isn't that what
some people feel that way?
But I figured out why it's different. It's because it's more like the minor leagues than different college football teams, different conferences. Right. So do you know that like a Sunday league team, just some random ass Sunday? Do you know what Sunday league is? And
no.
in the UK, well, all over Europe, but in the UK particularly, Sunday league is like, it's like an adult softball team kind of for soccer.
Gotcha.
But they're serious about it though.
Okay.
They can win games and play against a team like Arsenal in the Champions League Cup. Wow. It starts with like some Sunday league teams.
Oh, weird. Okay.
And it's this. That's why the Champions League tournament, it takes like fucking all year, because it's like I don't think there's actually that many Sunday league teams, and I think it's like teams that started it. I don't know, whatever. But they play against all these smaller clubs, and then it moves up. So you've had like crazy games where it's like Roger that works at the mill playing against
wow,
a team like Chelsea or something.
Okay.
So that's why the Champions League shit is so cool. You're like, holy shit, I'm gonna go play at Man United.
Wow.
I'm 35 and like I take my kid to his games on Saturdays usually. Like that's my job, is to be a dad. I'm gonna go play against Man United in the whatever the stadium is, in that iconic stadium. That's insane. But now that just takes that all away, and also the money. Like there would be no money for any of these teams that weren't in it anymore. Tottenham was in it, and they haven't won since 1960 or 40 or something, and they just have a huge market. It's like the Knicks. Like the
Knicks are the perfect example.
The Knicks or the Jets or
the
Mets.
And it sounds like a lot of it sounds like some of the finances were falling apart, but also people were freaking out, and I think they listened to it a bit.
They did.
So,
I mean, two teams pulled out as of this morning. Man United's Ed Woodward resigned. People are like really dancing on the grave of the Super League, which is, it's always fun when Twitter just kind of gets behind something.
Yeah.
Okay, reports of an emergency Super League meeting being set for today. Yeah, okay. Chelsea, Man City, Atletico Madrid, Man United all withdraw. Or no, Man United didn't withdraw, but Man United chairman resigns and the owners might sell.
Oh, Jesus.
That's how ridiculous this is. So
crazy.
Yeah, yeah, I mean they got really shitted on by the internet. That's the power of the internet, man. There is no stopping this 10 years ago even.
Yeah,
there's no stopping this 10 years ago.
We're seeing the internet make decisions that just recently.
Yeah,
there's been more power recently.
5 years ago, I don't know if this gets stopped.
No, there's no way.
In one day?
No.
This lasted for 24 hours. Yeah. That's so insane.
Maybe we wouldn't have had New Coke back in the 80s.
Hold on. This is a weird story. Here's our news story.
Are we still talking about soccer for God's
No,
sakes?
Okay. We're not. Here's our news story on the NFL and NFLPA approving and issuing a high rating for the first position-specific helmet, plus other details. 18% of players changing their helmet for this season.
Oh. So it must be a safer helmet?
Yeah, and I wonder if for O-line and D-line, there's going to be like probably just a big chunk for the top of your forehead.
That's going to be hard to look at for a while.
It will be, yeah. That's good,
what they
though.
should do?
They just smack their heads against each other every play. So.
They should just get rid of the helmets.
Yeah.
No helmets.
Yeah, I mean,
if you don't have a helmet, you're not going to bash your head into stuff.
In rugby, they teach you how to tackle, and there's almost no head injuries in rugby. Yeah. That's a lie. There's probably a lot of head injuries in rugby.
I'm sure there are.
But not as much as football. And I don't think, like, they haven't even heard of CTE over there. So, I mean, that just tells you. All right, so let's talk about the Mariners. Kyle Lewis, baby. Coming back tonight. Super exciting, obviously. And now let's talk about if they suck or not, because they probably do, but it appears as if they don't because they're, like, tied for the best record. So, yeah.
They still suck.
And moving on.
It's funny.
It's obviously really exciting, and you know, it's really cool to see my player of the week who hit 100 tearing it up. It's really awesome to see that. No, obviously, I like to see Mariners players tearing it up no matter when I pick them for player of the week. But yeah, I think, did we talk about this last week?
Yeah, just like who's going to be on the team. You know,
did we talk about like if you could pick how long this will last, if you could pick?
Oh no, we talked about that. We just talked about it not on the podcast.
Okay. Well, let's talk about it on the. That was like a really good podcast conversation.
We should have fucking recorded that. This nonsense.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. So the conversation we had was, there's a poll I saw on Twitter. I wish I knew who put it up, but it was, how long do you think this Mariners shit is gonna last? And they didn't say it like that, but so the first option was, I think, like, it's gonna end soon,
like now, pretty much now.
Yeah. Second one was till the All-Star break. Third one was, I think, like through August or into August, and then fourth one was like into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And before we kind of give both of our takes on it, what's interesting is the two topmost answers in very Twitter fashion were, it stops now and they're making the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, and they were, but
middle ground.
Actually, more interesting than that though is they were all very even. So those were the top two, but in the middle two had quite a bit too. So people really have no idea what to expect from this Mariners team. At least the people that saw that poll. So yeah, what's your take? What do you think?
You know, there's always some optimism out there. When I've posted about the Mariners on Facebook, I'm getting some comments like, yeah, trust the process. And I'm like, or they're like, watch the kids play. I'm like, I want to watch. See, I have an Everett Alcaswalks hat on. That's where I want to see the kids develop.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Evan White developing on the Mariners. Like, call him up next year when he can actually hit something. But so there is always optimism about the Mariners, and I don't know. I guess some people have lower standards, you know. I mean, I guess if people didn't have lower standards, I wouldn't be married and you would have never been born. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful for you people out there that have lower standards. But
oh my goodness.
I'm optimistic about the plan. You know, if I had to make, they're not going to the playoffs. Let me just say that right now. I don't think they're going to start losing immediately. I mean, they may struggle, going to Boston here, but just, they may have, I don't think they're going to totally fall off a cliff like today. What do you foresee?
I mean, with Kyle Lewis coming back, here's the thing that there's one reason why I think this team could hold it longer than the other teams, and it's purely due to the fact that they are too young and dumb to realize they are supposed to suck.
Yeah.
That is what it is.
So when will they realize it?
When will they realize they're supposed to
question.
suck? No, that genuinely is part of it, and I
Yeah.
think that's more of a really big thing with NFL quarterbacks.
Sure.
Like the guy Taylor Heineke. That was a big take I saw from a lot of people that watched that game, and it was my take too. Was he's too young and dumb to realize he's supposed to suck, and so he was good. Yeah. And maybe he just sticks with that his whole career.
Maybe.
But
look at Tom Brady.
yeah,
Worked for him.
Yeah.
Tom Brady kind of sucked in college.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't know it though, and never figured out that he sucks. And look at him, now he's the fucking GOAT.
Yeah. So the thing is, I think seriously though, the youth and the energy could keep this moving longer than people think it does. However, I also don't think it's going to be like 13-2 and then we're like 13-30 like it was fucking last year. I think it's going to be I think we both gave each other our predictions for win-loss record. I think I said 75-82, 75-87.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to fizzle out and we're going to end up being like just a little bit below of a 500 team after this hot streak.
I agree. And I think they're going to play pretty well for a good chunk of the season and probably fall off at the end. The question becomes, well, first of all, one of the reasons that they're better this year is their bullpen has been performing well. So that could continue. And that could get them to that place that you're talking about. A couple things to think about though are, the offense is hit or miss. Will guys tail off at the end of the season? And then also, the Mariners are going to have some decisions to make when we get up on the trade deadline. So, if I have a relief pitcher like a Kendall Graveman, who's just been lights out,
He has been.
do you? He's not a super young guy. Do you keep him, or do you? Or does a desperate team trade for him and give you more youth?
Right, yeah.
So the trade deadline could come into this too. So I think they're gonna play pretty well. They're gonna cool off a little bit and then probably fall off a cliff in September a little bit. But I'm just hoping to see some signs, and I'm hoping a couple guys come up and just show that they're gonna really contribute to a team that can compete.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a Mariners team that could compete.
So kind of going back to saying you want to see them develop there and not with the Mariners.
Or Tacoma's fine, or
Albuquerque, or what do you think about
AA is.
What do you think about Kalanick and Rodriguez then? Do you think they're ready though? Like
it sure looks like Kalanick is ready.
Yeah. He's been hitting bombs.
Yeah. So to me, Kalanick is a tough one because had MLB not been stupid last year, and if they'd had some sort of a AAA season, he could have gotten some actual at bats. But last year, minor league players didn't play. Mm-hmm. They played recess pretty much.
Yeah,
they played scrimmages, and it just ain't the same thing.
It's not. So
Kalanick has had very few at bats over single A. Mm-hmm. So, despite, I think in a normal, if it hadn't been a service time thing, he'd probably be up anyway. I'm all over the place on this because I sort of think I wouldn't mind seeing, but I'd like to see Evan White go down for at least a couple weeks.
Did you see the catch he made last night though?
Fuck. he caught a foul ball. It didn't. He didn't rob a goddamn home run. He caught a foul ball.
Hey, you can never rob a home run. That's so unfair. You can't. What? So the only good defensive play someone can make is robbing a home run?
Well, he could rob a double. He caught a foul ball. Like, cool. It was great. It was a great catch. I don't need a first baseman that's, I think he's hitting 200, so I guess that's better. I want a first baseman that...
His back shoulder, Dad. It was tough.
Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. Now, the Dylan Moore catch was...
That was great.
And he was in there because Ty France got injured.
Fuck yeah.
But I think it sounds like he's okay.
Yeah.
He's going to be available for pinch hitting. I think it's just a really bad bruise.
Okay.
Yeah,
Dylan Moore. It's funny when I saw that live, I couldn't tell how good of a catch that was. And then I saw the replay. I was like, oh, he fully extended. So, yeah. Okay.
Sneaky athletic.
Sneaky, very sneaky. All right. UW adding a basketball transfer. I don't know shit about college basketball, so
yeah. So this guy, so if you look at his stats, not impressive. I think it's 8 points, 4 rebounds.
That's not bad for college, though, even.
But here's the thing. I think he's more... I'm not going to say he's Matisse Thybulle, because Thybulle's one of the great college defensive players of all time.
Legitimately. Yeah.
However, he's going to give you that kind of energy. He's a long 6'7" guy.
You like him in Hops. You like him in Hops system.
Yes.
Is what you're saying.
He's going to be good in the zone.
Okay.
So, and like Thybulle, he's not going to light up the scoreboard, but he can contribute a little bit. Do you know
if he can shoot the pill a little?
Not really. He's struggled. He's like 25%. So he's struggled there. Can he get better? I don't know. But Hop needs guys. If you're going to bring in a system, you got to have guys that can play in that system.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Definitely recruit the guys that fit you.
So this is a prototypical, middle of the zone defender that they've lacked since Thybulle left. I think he's going to make a big impact. It's a bigger impact than points are going to show. But and this is the only way that this team is going to compete, is to bring in some transfers that can actually play his system.
Do you think Emmett Matthews Jr. will save Mike Hopkins' job?
He might, but he's got to find another transfer. I think they've been asking you to transfer to UW to play 2 guard. They saw you shoot it when you were 11, and here's a guy that could hit a couple of threes for us. All of our other guards left, so they got to find a couple more guys that can contribute. But a guy like this, because they have had nobody like this the last couple of years.
Yeah, you're right.
They've had no heart. Mm-hmm. They've had a couple guys that could play, but they haven't had a guy on defense that's a spark plug. And so this guy could make I just think he's going to make a big impact. I still don't think they're going to be very good, but maybe, God, could you go? Could you win 40% of your games?
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
Yeah.
We're open for 40%.
I mean, that would be a massive improvement.
Yeah.
Massive improvement.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
All right.
Keep working at Hop. Go into that portal.
Yeah.
And, suck some people out of the portal.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do, bro. Fucking pay him. I don't care.
I don't give a fuck, man. All right. Well.
It's
time for the Howard Clown
of the Week.
Okay. Do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Go for it.
Shannon Sharp is my clown of the week.
Shannon Sharp.
I'm a big Shannon Sharp fan, so this one was tough.
That guy, he's got the hardest job in sports. He? Is he still with
Skip?
Skip.
Come on, Skip. Skip.
This could be the Skip clown of the week.
Yeah,
he's
honestly,
another all-timer.
Skip is the one we always forget to mention. Perennial clown of the week candidate.
Yeah.
But okay, so Shannon Sharp went on TV responding to a very clearly fake quote. By Kevin Durant. People try to discredit my rings, but honestly, I feel like they're the most valuable of our era. People argue LeBron James is the GOAT, but if I beat him in back-to-back finals, then what does that make me? So he never said that.
He didn't actually say that?
No, it's a fake quote. It's a fake quote. It was posted by like a fake quote account.
Oh my God.
And he went on TV talking about it.
Oh, shame.
Kevin Durant tweeted, "Y'all drunk uncle out here lying again. When did I say this?" And then he said, Shannon went on TV responding to this quote like, "I actually said this. Global fans will believe it or say you was thinking this anyway. It's comedy at this point."
Now, are we sure that this wasn't Durant's burner account?
No,
we don't know. He might have actually said
Kevin
this.
Durant doesn't go on the burner anymore. He just roasts people on the timeline. It's awesome.
And just pays out the fines.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it.
And then, but I'm sensitive. This is what earned him the clown of the week. Shannon blocked him for But here's what makes it the clown of the week. He blocked him when he was the one that said the fake quote.
Yeah.
He's the one that clowns on people all the time.
Right.
All he does is clown on people, and he can't take getting clowned on.
You gotta take it.
And he doubled down. He didn't say he was wrong in any way.
Yeah.
He didn't correct the mistake. He doubled down with it and said he essentially agreed with the fans that were saying you were thinking that anyway. That's pretty much what he did.
People have sued for less, I mean, that's slander.
And shout out to Kevin. Here's, you know what I've said this on the show. I think we previously said we are Kevin Durant fans and Kevin Durant supporters, but it's hard to root for him sometimes because he can be a little cupcakey.
Kind of a whiny little bitch. Yeah.
He's completely turned that around for me because he's just turned to the dark side and just started blasting people.
I like it.
It's great. So yeah, that's my clown of the week, Shannon Sharp.
For sure.
Yeah.
Mine is gonna be DeVincent Spriggs. DeVincent Spriggs. I bet you don't know who that is, do you?
I actually do.
Do you? Okay.
I actually do.
Okay.
Because there's a podcast I listened to that was making fun of this guy.
And it's not just because I believe he was wearing a Wazoo Cougars sweatshirt.
No, he actually
hoodie.
was?
I believe so.
Oh my God.
I hope I have that right. They
were in Pittsburgh, so that would be kind of a.
There was a picture out there. I don't know.
Okay. Go for it. Yeah.
But I don't know. Anyway, but that's not why he's the clown of the week. I mean, he could be clown of the week for that, but that's not what I'm talking about. So he's Aaron Donald's accuser. So Aaron Donald has to go through this, people talking about him. Is he going to get suspended and all that? And then the guy walks it back and is like, no, it wasn't Aaron Donald. And I'll tell you, what I hate about things like this is the next time an athlete does punch someone, we're all going to question it.
Yeah.
Alden Smith the next fucking day.
Yes.
We're like, maybe he didn't
I
do
mentioned Aaron Donald when we were talking about that.
I don't know. We got to find out.
Yeah.
Maybe this guy's full of shit too. So, it's like, I mean, we've talked about this before with women getting attacked,
Mm-hmm.
Like when you have one person.
Oh my God. I think he might.
Huh?
Yeah, he went to wait. He went to Wazoo. Yeah.
Okay.
He went to Wazoo. Yeah.
There you go. Well, that explains everything. Yeah. No, but anytime there's a false accusation of anything, it makes real accusations become harder to believe. So fuck that guy.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
All right. We got our player and our lock of the week coming up next. Do you want to go first and choose which one you want to do?
I'm going to go. This is a classic here. I'm going to go Nets, Pelicans, over 235 tonight. Bet your fucking house on it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
235. They're going to have it by halftime.
They're going to have it by half. All right. Sounds good. Okay, so mine is going to be my lock of the week. Let me find the line. It is going to be the Clippers tonight. They are favored by, I believe, 7 or 7.5 against the Blazers, who are dameless. Dameless and
no Dame
and Nurkic is day to day. I don't know if he's playing or not, but a dameless Trailblazers team is hopeless in my eyes against the Clippers. So take them -7. I think he might have actually. Did he play for Wazoo football? He wouldn't have been number 12 though, right?
I wouldn't think so. Although football, they have weird.
True. Yeah, that's a good point. Anyway, okay. So I got Clippers -7.5. You got Nets Pels over 235, right?
Yeah.
All right. Move on. We'll snake draft to the player. Actually, I do have a backup player of the week, and
I do not.
We could potentially have the same one. So
we might.
Go ahead.
We might. I'm gonna go Kyle Lewis.
Yep, I knew it. I fucking knew it. So I picked a backup one. Yep.
Because I didn't want to think about the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go Kyle Lewis coming back. Hope to see him. It's probably more hope than anything else. But your AL Rookie of the Year.
That's not a homer pick.
No.
What are you talking about?
It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
You just think he's gonna do good.
That's right.
That's it.
I do. Yeah. So. It'll be exciting to have him back. They've been. I mean, when you have Evan White hitting cleanup, like that tells you
it's tough. Yeah,
you might need a couple more hitters.
Tough.
So bringing him back is big. You do lose Ty France, so he's kind of just taking his spot, and Ty France has probably been the Mariners' best hitter so far this season. But yeah, I'm excited to have him back, and I hope he stays healthy. Every time something happens to him, I'm like, oh, here we go again. So, I hope he can make it through the rest of the season.
Yeah, for sure. I am going to go. Well, my pick would have been Kyle Lewis for the record. I'm going to go with Steph Curry to continue this crazy run he's on.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm definitely.
For how long? Like till he's 50?
I'm fucking him. Yeah, I'm fucking him over right now by saying this, but
right.
I think it's gonna continue for at least a few more games here. Let's see. Who does he? I didn't even check who he has. He has the Wizards. That's a good sign.
It matters who he.
True. I mean, yeah. Honestly, it's a good point. Wizards. And then he's got.
As long as it's not the fourth quarter of the NBA Finals.
Yeah, for real.
It should be good.
That's the thing, though. Is I mean, like we still are putting weight in that, right? Like I mean, I don't like. It sucks because
it does.
You can't bring up someone's greatness without talking about that aspect of it, and it sucks because I want to be able to just 100% of the time appreciate Steph Curry for his greatness.
Yeah.
But I get caught up in that. I really do.
Yeah.
I get caught up in 0 finals MVPs. I get caught up in that.
There's still people caught up in, LeBron missing a few shots and losing a couple of finals early.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. Yeah. But it's true.
He's overcome that for me. But
I think if he hasn't overcome that for you, I don't want to listen to your opinion.
Yeah.
That's, of course I'm a LeBron fan, but I think I am generally I should be considered a pretty fair LeBron fan.
Right.
For being a LeBron fan.
Yeah.
There are some ridiculous LeBron fans out there, but
yeah.
If you're just saying that shit, I don't even want to talk to you. He also does have the Nuggets who are Jamal Murray lists, even though he's not a good defender anyway, but yeah, so I like him. I like him this week. You got anything else?
I do not think so.
All right. Well, in that case, I think that's all I got too. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Mason Charles Coe at Aaron Coe 29. All the YouTube shit, like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notifications if you so please. I think I'm gonna start hopefully uploading some more clips. So look out for those. Other than that, yeah, I think that's it, right?
That is it.
All right. Yeah.
Go Ners.
Go Ners, baby. Go Ners. All right. Have a great week, y'all, and see you next week. Peace.
See ya.